In 1963, Governor George Wallace stood in the doorway to ward off Assistant Attorney General Katzenbach after 2 Negro students enrolled at the University of Alabama. The National Guard was called into service in Alabama to desegregate public schools in 3 Alabama cities. In country music in 1963, Hank Williams Jr. was signed to a $300,000 contract by MGM, and former country music DJ Bob Neal formed his own talent agency in Nashville. That was the year Skeeter Davis had a hit song with End of the World.
Why does the sun go on shining? Why does the sea rush to shore? Don't they know it's the end of the world? 'Cause you don't love me anymore. Why do the birds go on singing? Why do the stars glow above? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when I lost your love. I wake up in the morning and I wonder why everything's the same as it was. I can't understand, no I can't understand how life goes on the way it does. Why does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye. Why does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye.
Ranger 7 was launched from Cape Kennedy in 1964 and sent back 4,000 pictures from the moon. There were race riots in Harlem that year. It was the year that Roger Miller left Nashville to try his talents in Hollywood, and Dottie West and the Osborne brothers joined the Grand Ole Opry. RCA signed Connie Smith to a long-term contract in 1964. Elvis Presley had earned more gold records for the same label than any other recording artist. In 1964, we heard Norma Jean sing,
Oh, let's go all the way. When you love halfway, someone's got to pay. I won't accept a part of you, so let's go all the way. Love me day and night, then I'll know it's right. Love me till I hear you say, oh, let's go all the way. All the way means happiness, living side by side. Halfway means a heartbreak if one of us should lie. chin. Our love will never end. Tell me you'll be mine today. Oh, let's go all the way. All the way means happiness, living side by side. Halfway means a heartbreak if one of us should lie. Just give me a clue that you love me too. Hold me in your arms and say, oh, let's go all the way.
In 1965, astronauts Cooper and Conrad orbited the Earth 120 times in 8 days. And 3 months later, Borman and Lovell made 206 orbits in Gemini 7. Pledges to the Country Music Association for the construction of the Country Music Hall of Fame were up to $210,000 in 1965. Plans were made for the Walkway of Stars in front of the Hall of Fame. 1965 saw Connie Smith become a featured performer on the Grand Ole Opry, and she had 3 hits in the top 10, one of them, Once a Day.
When you found somebody new, I thought I never would forget you, for I thought then I never could. But time has taken all the pains away. Until now I'm down to hurting once a day. Once a day, all day long, and once a night, from dusk till dawn. The only time I wish you weren't gone is once a day, every day, all day long. I'm so glad that I'm not like a girl I knew one time. She lost the one she loved, then slowly lost her mind. She sat around and cried her life away. Lucky me, I'm only crying once a day. Once a day. All day long, and once a night, from dusk till dawn. The only time I wish you weren't gone is once a day, every day, all day long. Once a day, every day, all day long.
In the early 60s, Roger Miller came to Nashville as a bellhop. Later, he won a spot in Farron Young's band and finally a recording contract. This eventually led to international success with numbers like Dang Me, King of the Road, Do-Wacka-Do, and Engine Number 9. From there, he moved to his own television series. But many people who know Roger Miller say that with all his great records and performances, to see him perform in quiet, personal surroundings surpasses anything he has ever done publicly. Disc jockey and songwriter Charlie Williams.
I distinctly remember the first time that I ever saw a real live Roger Miller. It was in Nashville at the big country music convention in 1956. And there were a bunch of us gathered around in Ray Price's room, and I remember this little skinny kid came running in, just hinged in the middle and flapping on both ends, and sat cross-legged in the middle of the floor and tore everybody's heads up, you know, and he'd go dip, 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 and play his guitar and carry on and just knock everybody out. And since then, I have been in on a lot of those sessions with Roger. I think it's unfortunate that a television camera can't capture him that way, or he can't present his stage show the same way he does in a motel room or in a private home.
Said she'd be here at 8, Dottie. Little star.
star. I don't know how far away you are, but tell me, how does it feel to stand that close to heaven? Hey, little star, see the tears that I've cried here, count 'em. Said she'd be here at 8, it's almost 11. See this broken heart of mine, can this broken heart of mine teach me how to live without her? How to forget all about her, about her. Hey, little star, there you are, close to heaven. Lucky you, lonely me, little star. See this broken heart of mine, can this broken heart of mine teach me how to live without her? How to forget all about her? Hey, little star, there you are, close to heaven. Lucky you, lonely me, little star.
The late 60s saw race riots across the country, and peace marchers who stormed the Pentagon and Washington were repulsed by the National Guard. Thurgood Marshall became the first Negro associate judge of the United States Supreme Courts. Dottie West has consistently displayed one of the most versatile talents in country music. Her hit, Careless Hands, proves it.
I let my heart fall into careless hands, careless hands that broke my heart in two. You held my dreams like worthless grains of sand. Careless hands don't care when dreams slip through. You brought me joy, oh, I loved you so. But all that sunshine didn't make roses grow. If you don't change, someday you'll know the sorrow of careless hands that can't hold on to love. You brought me joy, oh, I loved you so. But all that sunshine, it didn't make roses grow. If you don't change, someday you'll know the sorrow of careless hands that can't hold on to love.
Pretty ladies have been an important part of country music since its beginning. When Dolly Parton came on the scene, everybody agreed she was the prettiest thing that East Tennessee had ever given to country music. Dolly Parton is blonde and radiant and looks very much like a China doll. Here's Dolly Parton with Joshua.
Well, a good ways down the railroad track, there was this little old rundown shack, and in it lived a man I'd never seen. Folks said he was a mean and a vicious man, and you better not set foot on his land, but I didn't think nobody could be that mean. So I took me out walking down the railroad track. I was gonna go down to that little old shack and just find out if all them things I'd heard was true. There was a big black dog laying out in the yard, and it growled at me, and I swallowed hard, and I heard somebody say, well, who are you? Oh, and there he stood in the door of that shack, and his beard and his hair was long and black, and he was the biggest man I'd ever seen. When he spoke, his voice was low and deep, but he just didn't frighten me, 'cause somehow I just knew he wasn't mean. He said, what you doing snooping around my place? And I saw a smile come across his face, so I smiled back and I told him who I was. He said, come on in and pull you up a chair. You might as well since you're already here. And he said, you can call me Joshua. Joshua, Joshua, what you doing living here all alone? Joshua, Joshua, ain't you got nobody to call your own? No, no. We talked till the sun was clean out of sight, and we still talking when it come daylight. There was just so much we had to say. Hey, I spent my life in an orphan's home, and just like him, I was all alone. So I said yeah when he asked if I'd stay. Oh, we grew closer as time went on, and that little old shack, it was a happy home, and we just couldn't help but fall in love. That big black dog in that little old shack, sitting down by the railroad track, it's plenty good enough for me and Joshua. Joshua, Joshua, why you're just what I've been looking for. Joshua, Joshua, you ain't gonna be lonesome anymore. No, no.
The early 70s saw former rock artist move to country music. Dickey Lee made the switch with a song entitled
Ashes of love, cold as ice. You made the dead, I paid the price. Our love is gone, there's no doubt. Ashes of love, the flames burned out. The love light that shines in your eyes has gone out to my surprise. We said goodbye, my heart bled. I can't revive your love, it's dead. Ashes of love, cold as ice. You make the dead, paid the price. Our love is gone, there's no doubt. Ashes of love, the flames burned out. Trusted dear, our love would stand. Your every wish was my command. My heart tells me I must forget. I loved you then, I love you yet. Ashes of love, cold as ice. You make the dead, I pay the price. Our love is gone, there's no doubt. Ashes of love, the flames burned out. Ashes of love, cold as ice.
I wrote an instrumental where you do counter on the bass strings and the treble strings, and I sent it to Chester, and he really is the reason why I went on into it.
Jerry Reed is no newcomer on the Nashville scene. He paid his dues as a sideman in recording studios for more than a decade. But he has now arrived as his own man, a regular on the Glenn Campbell television show, a summer replacement show of his own, other artists recording his ballads, and his industry awards include honors from the Country Music Association and the coveted Grammy for the Best Country Song of 1971.
I was thinking one day, I heard this lick, this dun 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 dun, and I thought, man, why don't people play it on guitar? And you couldn't really do it good with a straight pick. You kind of had to get the fingers in there and go diddly-doo.
Amos Moses was a Cajun. He lived by himself in the swamp. They hunted alligator for a living. They just knock him in the head with a stump. The Louisiana law gon' get you, Amos. It ain't legal hunting alligator down in the swamp, boy. Now everybody blamed this old man for making him mean as a snake. When Amos Moses was a boy, his daddy would use him by alligator bait. Tie a rope around his waist and throw him in the swamp. Alligator bait in the Louisiana bayou. About 45 minutes southeast of Tippy-Toe, Louisiana, lived a man called Doc Millsap and his pretty wife Hannah. Well, they raised up a son that could eat up his weight in groceries. Named him after a man of the cloth. Called him Amos Moses. Yeah. Now all the folks around South Louisiana said Amos was a hell of a man. He could trap the biggest, the meanest alligator and just use one hand. That's all he got left, called alligator bit it. Left arm gone clean up to the elbow. Well, the sheriff got wind that Amos was in the swamp trapping alligator skin. So he snuck in the swamp, gonna get the boy, but he never come out again. Well, I wonder where the Louisiana sheriff went to. Well, you can so get lost in the Louisiana bayou. About 45 minutes southeast of Tippy-Toe, Louisiana, lived a cat called Doc Millsap and his pretty wife Hannah. Well, they raised up a son that could eat up his weight in groceries. Named him after a man of the cloth. Called him Amos Moses. Sit down on him, Amos. Make it count, son. About 45 minutes southeast of Tippy-Toe, Louisiana.
Quite frankly, I got tired of playing lead guitar, single note lead guitar. It left me feeling so empty. I heard this lick, this dun 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 dun.
These are the greatest years of country music.